I was telling you the reason why U.S. government this time they denied to give me visa. It has completely political reason, because when I went in the embassy, they just made a mere excuse. They are telling me why you are living underground and also your unemployment. And when I wanted to tell them why I'm living underground, I asked them, do you know who am I? They told me, yes, we know who you are very well. Anyway, but the political reason was that, I believe, because each time when I travel in international conferences on behalf of my people, I attended some conference in the US in the past and also in some European countries. I inform great people of these countries about the wrongdoing of their governments, about their blind bombardment that they are bombing from the sky and killing innocent civilians under the name of these terrorists. I inform them about the their taxpayer money, that billions of dollars goes to the pocket of these warlords, stragglers, even indirectly to the Taliban. I think this is something that the warmongers in White House, they can't bear, as they try to use their huge propaganda machine, the corporate media, to hide these bitter realities from your eyes. But if Western governments, they are bombing and killing innocent civilians, people of my country, but we are so honored, so happy that we have support and solidarity, great peace-loving, justice-loving people of these countries who stand in solidarity with us and raise their voice against the wrong policies of their government, against occupation for democracy and peace. So now from your microphone, once again I announce that they never can block my voice and they never can stop me from spreading my message on behalf of my people around the world against occupation for democracy and peace. 10 years ago, US and NATO, they occupied my country under the banner of women's rights, human rights, and democracy. Unfortunately, they pushed us from the frying pan into the fire because they replaced barbaric Taliban, these terrorists, with fundamentalist warlords who are photocopy of each other. That's why the situation of Afghanistan day by day goes from worse to worse. While there are many media hypes in the West about improving conditions, women's condition, but the women of my country, even they do not have human life. Killing of women that much easy for these warlords like killing a bird. And rape cases, domestic violences, acid attacks, burning the girls' schools, poison the girls' schools, and many, many other violences increasing rapidly, even historical. And let me give you one example that this is not only military war in Afghanistan, war of propaganda as well. Still, the US government and NATO, they misuse from the miseries of the women of my country. The story of Bibi Aisha is a good example in the Time magazine that the headline says, what's happening to the women of Afghanistan if we leave? But it was better if they wrote, what's happening to the women of my country, I mean women of Afghanistan, while we are there. Never they bring those disfigured women and girls that they become disfigured by white phosphorus cluster bomb for treatment in the Western countries, because their crimes get exposed for good people of these countries. Many people ask me in conferences how we can help Afghan women. Always my answer is this: first, war will never help Afghan women. Secondly, if they give us a little bit bread and peace, I'm sure the progressive Afghan men will stand in solidarity with us. During this almost 10 years of occupation, the women of my country, even they didn't got the limited rights they enjoyed in century 60s and 70s. And during these 9 years of occupation, tens of thousands of innocent civilians has been killed, most of them women, children, and innocent men. As our friend mentioned earlier about article of Guardian, that the photo which broadcast in Spiegel, when you see, just heartbreaking. And you see how they make fun with the dead bodies of Afghan people. It is true that the picture is new, but the murderers is not new. And now, just to hide their bigger crimes, US government and NATO, they are telling you they are trying to bring these few cruel soldiers to the court. I think it is just priceless. It's not enough. They must they must bring this Minister of the War, Robert Gates, and General David Petraeus, and these other high-ranking officials who surged these troops in bombing and killing innocent civilians under the name of Taliban. They must be questioned. In my own province in Farah last year, 150 civilians in one day has been killed, even used white phosphorus. Recently in Kunar province, 65 innocent civilians has been killed. Again, most of them women and children. In the same province, 9 children has been killed in another village of Kunar. Yesterday in Kabul, 50-year-old shopkeeper in her house, brutally they shoot and kill. You can see on some websites. And their massacres example is a lot. As a tip of the iceberg, I told you only these 2, in Shindand, in Kunduz, in Herat, in many other provinces, example of their massacres. And still they continue to their wrong policies. And people, when they hear about these massacres, they come on the streets, they do demonstration, but who listen their voice? Even mainstream media, most of them, the mouthpiece of these warmongers, never give report to great people of these countries. And when Obama took office, unfortunately, his first news for my people, more conflict, more war. He surged more troops. The outcome was more tragedies, more massacres, more miseries, more pain for my people. And also, he invited these terrorists, Taliban, Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, this fascist man, to join this corrupt mafia puppet regime of Hamid Karzai. These terrorists also come in power, situation will be more bloody, more disaster, especially for the women. And he's expanding war, not only in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Yemen, drone attack in Pakistan, took the life of too many people, innocent people. And now start this brutal war in Libya as well. That's why we believe that Obama, during these 2 years, proved himself for my people just a second and even dangerous push. There is official report that the death toll, 24% increase when you compare with Bush administration. And it seems that shedding blood of innocent people, countless innocent people in Iraq and Afghanistan was not enough, that now Obama's administration used UN as their umbrella to invade this country as well, Libya, which is clear that they invade this country, want to invade because of their own interests, because of riches of Libya, oil of the Libya. Let me give you one example. While Obama's administration raised a lot of hue and cry against Gaddafi regime and his crimes, in the meantime supporting much more dirtier Gaddafi's regime in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, in Israel, and many other countries, which is clear that the dirtier Gaddafi will come in power, unfortunately, if behind of this will be the hand of these warmongers. The document released by WikiLeaks exposed the treachery policy of the US government and prove what we have been saying about war during these 10 years of occupation. They kill innocent civilians through their blind bombardment and shamelessly decrease the number of civilian deaths and call them insurgents, terrorists, while they are more than every one of us. They are against Taliban and these terrorists, these warlords. And now Afghanistan is ranked 181st out of 182 countries in the Human Development Index. And according to the Mines Minister, Afghanistan is sitting on around $3 trillion of mineral deposits, but because it's the second most corrupt country in the world, which is clear that the income of these mines would fill the pockets of these warlords, drug lords, and also their foreign masters. Do not benefit Afghan people. And US and NATO, they try to fool Afghan people, not only our people, their own people too, by telling you we are leaving Afghanistan by mid of 2011, which is a big lie. From another hand, Karzai's puppet regime talking about permanent military bases in Afghanistan. Our people, when hear this news, that Joe Biden, other high-ranking official of the US, they say if people of Afghanistan want, we will leave. And they are saying if expanding their military bases. When our people, they hear this news, they had demonstrations in Kabul and many other provinces. But again, media never give report this resistance to justice-loving people around the world. Later, if you want, I can give you a few examples. Which is clear they don't leave Afghanistan soon. Why? Because of geopolitical location of my country. We are in the heart of the Asia. On one hand, we are so proud we are in the heart of the Asia, but from another hand, we think maybe it's our sin. Why we are in the heart of Asia? Because of this chess game and dirty agenda of these big powers. The last one, I mean US government. They want to make their military bases there, then it will be easier for them to control other Asian powers like China, Iran, Russia, etc. Then they have very easily access to the gas and oil of the Central Asian republics. In the meantime, billions of dollars they are receiving through dirty business of opium. It was one of the main projects of CIA that they became successful because of through support of these warlord drug lords. Even New York Times gave report, brother of Hamid Karzai, Ahmad Wali Karzai is a famous drug trafficker. My people call him a small bush in Kandahar province. And even New York Times wrote he's in the payroll of CIA. Many other, sometimes these so-called politicians in power in Afghanistan, they get exposed sometimes even by mainstream media. And nobody can believe that a superpower with massive military machine, really they are unable to defeat these bunch of killers like Taliban. Who created Taliban? Every one of us know very well. Who destroyed their domination? And still, who is playing the game of Tom and Jerry with these terrorists? Mainly US government, CIA, ISI, and even these neighbor countries from this muddy water, they try to catch their fishes. They don't want to lose them, invested millions of dollars on them, and through them keep situation in danger to be longer for their own interest. Later, if you want, I recommend you some books. I will show you, it will help you to know better about these policies of these wrong politicians, how support these fundamentalists in especially Muslim countries for their own interest, to eliminate, will be easier for them to eliminate democratic-minded movement, parties, intellectuals of these countries. I think justice-loving people of US around the world, they agree with my people. Democracy never comes by military invasion, by war, by cluster bomb, white phosphorus, by killing innocent civilians, by bombing our wedding parties, what they did in Nangarhar and Nuristan. You know, after all of these crimes, they are saying, apologize. White House, Karzai's puppet regime says, thank you, that is it. We fed up from listening, thank you, and apologize. We want the end of this brutal war, this occupation, as soon as possible. And now there is two kinds of resistance. One is reactionary resistance of the Taliban. Always these wrong politicians, they are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. Another is resistance of ordinary Afghan people, student of the university, innocent women, democratic parties, few we have. They are active. And this is hope and positive for the future of Afghanistan, which is day by day getting more and more. And I believe, again, the only solution for this catastrophic situation of my country is the withdrawal of all of these troops from my country, because their presence double our miseries. They create more obstacles, and as much as these bunch of killers, these reactionary terrorists, they get powerful, they eliminate more democratic-minded people of my country and kill innocent people, especially women. Now my people, they squash between three enemies: warlord, occupation forces, Taliban. With the withdrawal of occupation forces, we will fight two internal enemies instead of three. And the most important point, the backbone of these warlords in Taliban will break if, honestly, they leave. And my people, despite they are wounded, tired of all kind of the war, they will fight steadfastly till the end against the warlords in Taliban because of the hatred that they have for them. And now you see Karzai's regime is how much weak, because most of people do not support these warlords, stragglers who are in power. And now I ask all justice-loving people of the US around the world, peace love seekers, also anti-war movements, human rights organizations, individuals, brave journalists, democratic-minded journalists, and other supporters as human beings, justice-loving people, put pressure on your government to end this occupation, this brutal war, and do not let them to commit these crimes under the name of these great American people. And join your hands with democratic-minded people of my country, intellectuals, activists, and few parties that we have. They are the future of Afghanistan, especially educationally support my people, because I believe education is a key toward emancipation. Let me conclude today's event with the quote of this extraordinary man, dear Martin Luther King, who I'm sure inspires millions around the world. He says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed." I'm sure you will have some questions as well. Once again, heartfelt thanks for your solidarity and support. Thank you. But I think, yes, today world is very small, like a village. If we want, we can help each other, especially the support of democratic-minded politicians, men and women, is very important in this kind of situation. If you know them, it's good to give the contact by Skype, or if we'll be meeting in person is better while I'm here. Supporter if organized. In some country they organize with democratic-minded member of parliament, men, women, like a group, sometimes in a community, I'm going in a commission. So it's good, yeah, why not? We should, yeah, organize. Always I'm telling them, but first at the beginning of the meeting, the silence of the good people is worse than the action of bad people. Anyway, they are the one who should put pressure on their government. They can carry your message of great people out of the parliament, outside of the parliament, and outside of the government. They can put pressure on wrong politicians. I remember my personal experience when I was in the parliament. It was like a torture. Let me tell you, once one supporter told me, a writer, a poet, Afghan man, told me, "Malalai, it is true that if we also was instead of you inside of parliament, most of them, I cannot say all of them, democratic-minded men and women in the parliament, you can find like your finger, few there, you can count them. But majority seats belongs to these warlords, stragglers, even Taliban. One member of parliament is Talib and also Senate. Anyway, but he told me, when you raise your finger or you want to talk, most of these who are in the parliament, they are uncomfortable and they are looking at you that this time you will expose the crime of which one of them. And you must enjoy. So it's good, my experience, that democratic-minded politicians, they should try to be the voice of the good people of outside of their country there, that do not let them to enjoy with their wrong politician. Yeah, just I wanted to be sure about you are asking regarding the visa, the pressure that they put.
How the process came about that you were able to get your visa after being denied. What was the process like?
Oh, yes. It has a long story. Anyway, first time when I went, I told you briefly that they did very, very short interview. First asking me why your name and the passport is, the spell is a little different with the website, my name. I told them this is the problem of the office passport. They did mistake. So anyway, but my invitation letter is with the name of the passport. Then they told me, you wrote in forma you are unemployment. And I said, yes, I'm unemployment, but I'm active, underground. Then told me that why you are living underground and why you are unemployment, that gave me a paper that refusing the visa, a kind of different paper, the color, it means that reject. Then I told them that you are not giving me visa? Then they said no, because you are unemployment and also you are underground. I said, can I tell you why I'm underground? Do you know who am I? Then they said, yes, I know you, who you are very well, but good English. Then it was like a kind of answer to close my mouth. Then I said, okay, but at least let me know. Can I say to my friend that you do not give me visa because I'm unemployment and underground? Then said, yes. Then I said, okay, I went. But after that, you know, democratic-minded politicians, congressmen, women, some of them, a group, especially great people of US, even I cannot say they are my supporter, but they are strongly believing in freedom of speech and democracy, elementary part of democracy. And also supporters, friends, they did campaign and they put pressure on the government, on the embassy. Then after 1 week, they called me and told me, come and receive visa. And then it has a long story how they wasted their time. You know, that day I told them I have meeting with Professor Noam Chomsky. My supporter told me that you are giving me visa. Then told me that, who told you? Then I passed all of these invitation letters that I said they told me. And then told me we have our process and it's the deputy of our ambassador and we will see. But I cannot tell you we can give you visa today or not. Then I waited all the day until 5 o'clock. Then 5 o'clock the embassy get closed. I wanted to go back home. I became disappointed. I thought maybe because I said because of Professor Noam Chomsky, because I love him. And you know, then they called and said, come and take your visa, otherwise we close the visa section. Then I went and then I got, and then 5, they gave me visa. 7, I just got the flight and they brought my bag very quick. But fortunately, just 3-4 hours before they went, I arrived and I met this dear Chomsky. Let me tell you, if you have a woman girl like Obama, or a criminal like Bush, but you should be proud to have that Professor Chomsky's and many Chomsky's, all of you that against war, against occupation. Yeah, and I came attending the conference. That's the story briefly I told you. But long conversation like a police, you know, in the interview for the second time. Anyway, but they gave visa. It shows the power of the people. And it really gave me hope, strength in person. And again, you proved for my people also huge difference between the wrong politician in the government of US and between the good and great people of this country. Yeah.
I could add a bit to that. When we heard that she wasn't getting her visa, yeah, I panicked. I'd been working for 2 or 3 weeks at that point to organize this thing, and started emailing out to my list. If you sign that petition with your email address, you'll be on it. Getting people to contact folks in Congress. Other of the organizers nationwide were doing the same thing. In Washington State, it really paid off. Staff people from Jim McDermott's office and Jay Inslee's office collaborated, got within about 24, 30 hours, a letter written, signed by 9 members of Congress. Patty Murray was the other Washingtonian who signed it, and delivered to the embassy, asking them for favorable consideration. A couple of days later, Maria Cantwell sent in her own letter, and Adam Smith felt that a letter wasn't appropriate, but they called the embassy and had a conversation with them, and got a response back from the embassy. So of the 15 members of Congress that we know of nationwide who did something to help move that visa, 5 of them were from Washington State. You'll notice that I didn't mention quite a few. If you're from Rick Larson's district or Jamie Herrera Butler's district, I talked to their staffers, explained that, yeah, she's appearing in your district. She's scheduled to come to your district. This is a matter for you. We didn't get any response from either one of them. I leave that up to you to deal with.
Do you think that the U.S. politicians are starting to shift?
To shift, to leave?
To leave, yeah.
No, regarding the last question, you know that I said earlier they will not leave Afghanistan soon. And that's why they invite Taliban and also Gulbuddin Hekmatyar to join the government, while U.S. put his name in the blacklist as a terrorist. Bush administration put price on the head of Gulbuddin. Anybody find the died or alive body of this terrorist. So they will give $25 million, something like this anyway. But now Obama's administration invite this terrorist to join the government, even not ready to say apologize to my people. Mullah Omar same have bloody hands. If we put all crimes of Mullah Omar aside, just because of destruction of Buddha's statue, they are unforgivable. So how many crimes they committed, these terrorists? To the world know about Taliban against our people, and also shed the blood of countless innocent American people. This 9/11 tragedy. And anyway, it proves that they are not honest, and the documents by WikiLeaks expose also the strong policies. Many link of WikiLeaks if you go to see this website. And it's like open secret. Sometimes as a tip of the iceberg, small crimes of them get exposed by Spiegel, by Guardian, by New York Times, sometimes, very rare happen. But anyway, which is clear, they keep situation in danger. They want to make more powerful their puppet, corrupt mafia regime than even if they leave Afghanistan, because they are under pressure of good people of their country, anti-war people of their country. So they seem like Vietnam War. They are searching for a so-called honorable solution. Same in my country now, they are handing over the responsibility to Afghan National Army and police. My people call it dollar army. You know why? Because the salary even more than a teacher, per month $200. And also that while in the past we had volunteer army, and also the head of Afghan National Army, powerful warlords. Is it possible they stand on its own feet? Even with Afghan police, the militias of commanders of these warlords who are right now in power, they kidnap and kill the people. One of my supporters, a doctor, we found his dead body on the streets. The police kidnap, the police again bring and drop on the street. Many examples like this. Anyway, it seems like to make rabbit have responsible of the carrot. And just they use as a trick to use Afghan people as a cannon fodder to decrease the number of their own soldier casualties. I told you yesterday, even in Kabul, you can see on Rawa website, it is just heartbreaking. You can see this young child says, after that I should say daddy to who? Why they kill my father? Just the poor shopkeeper. They did interview a brave journalist with this poor family. And so you said another sources. You can go Rawa website I mentioned. This is a women organization. They support me as well, but they have their own activists. Still they are underground, risking their lives. They have some projects, especially for women and girls. You can see their website that it's really help you to tell about the realities of the so-called war on terror and crimes of these terrorist fundamentalists. You can see also other websites like Afghanistan Solidarity website also help you. Some independent journalists, I have their address, their Facebook, their web blog. If you want later by email, if you don't mind, ask me a question. I will send you the links and also their weblogs. You can see through this, you know the reality, you know, but then you find how to help. And here, let me show you how to do that, like this. Yeah. Later I will tell you these pictures, but the books, I want to show you these books. One of these books, when you read, it will help you to know first the history of Afghanistan, this 30 years war, then you know how to help in each other. Yeah, this is this is Mina's book, one of the heroine of Afghanistan, leader of Rawa that martyred. And this is Devil's Game. Robert Dreyfuss wrote this book, this great American man. At least when I see that about my country, how honestly he wrote, exposed the wrong policy of the US, especially this 30 years war. In many other Muslim countries, how support CIA, especially to ISI and other fundamentalists, create these fundamentalists and to eliminate democratic minded, I told the movement, progressive people, innocent people. This is Bleeding Afghanistan, the book. You can read. This is the book of, anyway, this is my book. And yeah.
This is Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Oh, I know Brzezinski. I read in the book of Robert Dreyfuss as well. Yeah.
Is he a war criminal?
Of course. They are. If Obama is, at least the policy is different with Bush, he must first of all, made powerless this Minister of the War, Robert Gates. You were talking about Brzezinski. How about this Minister of War? How many people, innocent people in Iraq has been killed? If we put Afghanistan aside, for what they did in Iraq is unforgivable. In Palestine, supporting this Zionist regime of Israel, and also that this Bush, criminal Bush, he should try to bring him to the ICC. Sorry, you think that I misunderstand? Yeah.
No, I was just going to say there is a book about prosecuting George Bush for war crimes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I didn't read this book. Yeah, sorry, I didn't read this book. If you send me the name, if you don't mind, I will find out. I will be happy to read, yeah. But we know him very well. Yes. Yes. You know that non-governmental organization, let me tell you briefly about Dr. Ramazan Bashardus, Minister of the Planning in Afghanistan. He did survey most of Afghan NGOs, and foreign NGO was corrupt. He wanted to close the door. Then Karzai didn't agree. Then he resigned from his post. That's why he's very famous in Afghanistan. People love him a lot. He's a democratic-minded person, now living under tent. But he is in the parliament. He ran for the parliamentary election. He's quite famous. If they didn't allow him to win, then their cheating was clear for the world. We have a famous saying, it's not important who's counting, it's not important who's voting, it's important who's counting. That's our problem. But, few NGOs I know that they are really working there. If you want their email, I can give you their website. You can contact them like OPAC, like HACA, like AFSICO, few I know, and few foreign NGOs that they are really working. Otherwise, that much money, $30 billion Karzai regime received, Afghanistan was like heaven. No need to surge any troops, no need to send any taxpayer money, yes. Sorry, I didn't read that. There's so many responsibility we have there. And I really suffer from this point. I don't have enough time for reading. At night, I'm just getting tired. But I try. Some books really, especially, there's so many miseries, so many shocking news. Each time in Afghanistan, for me, the most important thing is radio, to know about what's going on, and my head is getting full of shocking news. And each time I'm coming, I want to share these miseries, sorrows, and to know better about this reality, so-called war on terror. But some of these good books, if you recommend me, I really appreciate, and I will find and give the address to other activists of Afghanistan. Also, I try my best to read it, yes. And here, let me show you, before a few questions of you, if you don't mind, few pictures. I do want to show you that it helps also as a proof. Do you want? Yeah, these pictures, you see that these are the BBC Gov report. 2,300 suicide cases have been recorded so far this year. They are burning themselves because nobody listened to their voice, no justice. This is a mom that looked in the hospital, her daughter, 13 years old, set herself on fire. This is, you can see, just 4-year-old baby in Kabul I met. She brutally has been raped. It's like a miracle she's alive. Every few seconds go to the toilet, and the warlord raped. This is another girl, I met her in Kabul, 12 years old, Anisa, that she also by local warlords has been raped in Sarpol province. Another one, Bashira, 14 years old, she has been raped by son of the member of the parliament, Haji Painda. He changed the age of his son less than 18 that do not be punished. In the same province, 12 more rape cases happen. And this is another one. This is same like Taliban time. You can see here they shoot on the head of the woman, first beat in public in front of all people accused as prostitution in Ghazni province. Just jungle conditions, same like Taliban time. You saw this one, I told you earlier, the nose and ears has been cut off by her cruel husband, Bibi Aisha. Now she's in the West, they fixed her nose, and just for their propaganda machine. You know what I mean? I told you there we know many other women never they bring, especially by these bombardments when they become disfigured. This is in Farah province, this is cluster bomb that they used in Kandahar. She became disfigured. And when I had a meeting last time with some of congressmen and women, some of them pro-war, pro-occupation, shamelessly telling me, where's your proof you see cluster bomb? Then I showed this picture. I said, if she will be your daughter, what's your response? And had no answer. And you can see this one, this is the proof that, you know, Laura Bush many times told you, even now, wrong politician. First time we brought women rights in Afghanistan, it's a big lie. These are new reports of New York Times, other newspaper. You can see women how freely they are walking and they have their own job, modern clothes they are wearing. Sometimes some clip I have it open here. If you want, I can send you here. They do demonstration and playing their role. But this 30 years, not only, we didn't got only limited rights, we enjoyed in century 60s, 70s. This is the occupation forces that this picture you can see. This 10 years that they used. Most of them children. Can you see these are babies? All of them are babies. I don't know. For these warmongers, maybe they are terrorists. This report, if you want, I can send you. It is about minerals that we have. And this is good researchers they did. And I told you we have 3 trillion mineral deposits. And this is the report of the corruption, you know. Corruption, look that it has degree that this is also official report. If you want, I can send you. Because of lack of time, the answer will be longer if I explain for you. This is the report of the drug. Look, medieval-minded, ignorant Taliban, they almost destroyed opium, 185 metric ton. But now, it is 2009, how improved. But now, 4,400% opium increase. And most of this drug export by B-52 to the West. And this is the picture of these criminals. You can see these turban bears, and among them Karzai, this shameless puppet man. This is also another fundamentalist killer. You can see in Human Rights Watch website, Amnesty International website as well. Look, this cruel man. You know, let me tell you what he was saying about this glorious uprising that happened in some Middle East countries, Egypt, Tunis, like this. This man, he is saying, let me exactly what does he said. He's going in the mosque and telling to the religious fundamentalists that if the religious scholars don't play their leadership role in the society, power will fall into the hands of internet and Facebook youths. Look that now they are talking, they want to invite Taliban to join the government. And you see, this is example of their crimes. Alone in Kabul, they killed 65,000 innocent people. They raped our old grandmother. All their crimes record. They destroyed, they looted our museum, National Museum, many other crimes. But now these bunch of killers, they are in power. They are ministers, they are governors, they are members of the parliament. They are enjoying their life. Look, this is the picture that people threw red color on the picture of the head of the parliament. When you see, he looks very Democrat with suit and tie and talking beautiful about democracy, but a killer. This all, you can see this sacred hero and heroine threw red colors on them to show their hatred. These bunch of killers, you can see, they have responsibility of 30 years war in Afghanistan. Let me tell you the story of one of them, this one. This one now has banners, Dr. Abdullah has banners quite similar like empty banners of Obama's, hope and change. And even they, for example, what Obama is doing, he also tried to do. What do you say that? Anyway, I don't know this word in English, but he followed the policy of their foreign master. This one stole millions of dollars when he was minister of the religious who go to the Saudi Arabia, to the God house. I don't know this word in English, but he was minister of this department. So he stole millions of dollars. Now his corruption exposed. He went to England. In England, as VIP in the airport, they took him and now has good life in Helmand. But government of Gaza is saying we are searching for him. It is ridiculous. Look that, and this books also. Anyway, this few I had, here I have a picture, Mullah Rahmatullah Hashimi. I was in the Yale University. This picture you can see how hypocrite your government looked at, US government, I mean that. This is the picture of same man. He's a spokesperson of Taliban. When destroyed Buddha's statue, he defends this same person. This is Taliban time. Now, with suit and tie in the Yale University, this germ. Where is his place? And it was shocking news for all these good teachers and students when I was there. And he was sending message, please forgive me. I said, I'm a person. Expose the crimes of the Taliban and at least say apologize to the people. Then this is the people, they are the one who forgive you or not. And many other examples. Anyway, they are enjoying in the West. They come and putting dust on your eyes and you don't know their black background.
Yeah, we're told as Americans that the reason that we're in Afghanistan is to defeat the Taliban and Al Qaeda, but you're saying that the U.S. really isn't interested in defeating Taliban, and because if we defeat them, then the U.S. has to leave Afghanistan.
Yeah.
How does the occupation benefit the Taliban as a whole, or how does the occupation and the Taliban mutually reinforce each other?
Yeah, you are right. You know that if they find this game of so-called war on terror will finish, you know, if somebody asks me, where is Osama? I said, it's a good question you ask from the White House. Those who give shelter to Osama, Sayyaf, this killer man, let me show you. Right now, he has private jails, and this man, this is the one in the Loijerga. Also, when I stand up to date and had a long speech, you can see some clip. He's a very cruel man. His commander in the parliament, people call him head eaters because kill the people a lot. They still have private jail. And he gives shelter to Osama. Now, nobody asking him. At least do not make him powerless. You are right. If they really defeat them, then they have no reason to be there.
My government also tells me that we are building roads and schools and clinics. Is that true?
Who told you?
Propaganda, the government.
The U.S. government is building roads and schools and that kind of thing. Is that true?
Is that true or false?
Oh yes, why not? They built very good schools, private universities. They did free Afghanistan for these bunch of killers. Private schools, my people don't have enough food to eat. How they go to school? My family, at least they have something to eat. They cannot go. The level of education of few universities they built is very, very low. You know, that much level is low that students, they tell me, supporter, we ask questions from teacher, they tell us, okay, tomorrow we will bring the answer for you, then forget. Never answer is coming. The teachers still for months, they are not receiving their salary. Many times they had demonstration. It's still in faraway provinces under 10. But no question, when you compare with the barbaric regime of the Taliban, slightly the situation of the women improved. Some of them, they are in the parliament. We have Ministry Office of the Women. We have some school just to justify their occupation. When the girls in Kabul, they go to school, they get poisoned. Tens of girls, their family bring them from the hospital to the house. Tomorrow, how they dare to send them to school? In Kandahar, few schools, they build the girls going through acids on their faces. Government gave report officially, hundreds of schools has been closed for security reasons. System is so corrupt from the palace presidential until the small office. Some schools, some project, some corrupt NGOs, they buy cheap material, they build a school, then after 1 year, you cannot believe this is the same school. when you go. Many examples like this, that just to justify their occupation. Let me tell you one example how Ministry Office of the Woman is symbolic and did nothing for the woman almost. 17-year-old girl recently last month in Kunar province, her cruel husband do domestic violence, then she's going to the Ministry Office of the Woman. There she goes to their shelter. There she hand over to the head of the Afghan Provincial Council. There, a powerful warlord. His name is Mia Hassan. And he took him in his room, twice raped him. And then a brave local wire want to follow this case. He received death threats by gunpoint. And nobody dared to follow this case. Many other examples like this. Their role is symbolic. 8th of March, they celebrate a very expensive conference-like event that invite Karzai also coming, making very beautiful speech about women's rights. But never they are asking, how about all of these messages, this shocking news? Why you support these warlords who are around you, that they commit these crimes? Sometimes sharks small fishes, go to the jail, sharks free. And many examples like this. If you want later, I can send you by email as well some links. Afghanistan Solidarity Party had demonstration in different parts of Afghanistan against this regime and also against occupation. Hundreds of people in Kabul, in Herat, in Mazar Sharif, in Farah, in Jalalabad. They invited me as well to join this demonstration. Unfortunately, for security reasons, I couldn't go, but I said to my support that they went. But never they give report. Yes, Iran, how US government is hypocrite. From one side against Iran, they are talking from another side. The very puppet of Iran, let me show you, you can see Human Rights Watch website also to know. This man, Khalili, is the vice president, vice president of Karzai, very close puppet of Iran. And also the background of party, this fundamentalist party, Wahdat Islamic Party, the leader is this. And also the Minister of the Electricity and Water, Ismail Khan, let me find this cruel man. This one, you can see, like Iranian also use this turban that we call Basiji. He's a Minister of Karzai, Electricity and Water, has commanders in power in Herat. And they have open hand, Iran and Afghanistan anyway. But now US don't leave because it's good place for them, Afghanistan, to treat Iran and these other powers. So if they let us to be a little bit, I told you, Britain peace, no question we need a helping hand. We are asking for solidarity when we want the withdrawal of the troops. Because our people now, they know very well the warlord, the bunch of killer Taliban hate them and also against regime of Iran. And we wish this glorious uprising happen. If democratic system come in power, it has huge impact in Afghanistan. First of all, their puppet get powerless, Anyway, yeah.
Right here.
The man, 3 cups of tea. In Afghanistan, personally, I didn't hear his project. And even yesterday, one Afghan told me that even he accused us corrupt. But he said, I went in Afghanistan, a long time he spent in US. But I hear from some supporter that they say that he now become pro-occupation, pro-war. I hope it will not be right. If I meet him, of course, I will tell him in person. But if you meet, please pass this message that stop.
First question is, how does the environment figure into Afghan activism with such a human crisis? What's the place of environmentalism?
Environmentalism?
And then environmentalism, protecting the natural resources of the earth.
Oh, yeah.
The second question, in your book you talk about the need for dams and irrigation systems. And Arundhati Roy from India, are you familiar with her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's talked about the destruction caused by dams, by big dams.
By big guns.
So,
Yeah, this boat, I have some report about how it affects on children, that even the mom who are pregnant, they birth their children disabled because of these weapons and these guns that they use there. And but why mental, yeah,
Environmental.
yeah, environmental systems. I'm not sure about this question.
Okay. Environmentalism is protecting the earth.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I'm just,
Okay.
maybe I'm too tired, I don't know, sometimes I forget the question. Yes, the natural mine, I told you, rich mines that we have in Afghanistan a lot, that day by day they discover. For example, in uranium, we have uranium, rich, pure uranium in Helmand province. They are a kind of competition between British troops and American troops. Each of them, they want to have more their troops there for their own interest. And they change Helmand to the center of the drug. Billions of dollars they are receiving. Very unsafe city. Why they keep unsafe? Then they have a reason that to be more there, to surge more troops, that to export these riches that we have there. I mean that this uranium, since King Zahir Shah, that they said that there was a research that yes, there was uranium. And also our other rich mine, I told you the example of 3 trillion rich mine deposits, I told you earlier, that we have. Here, let me tell you one example that Minister of the Mine receiving bribe from Chinese company. How much bribe he is receiving, let me find here. Anyway, they are looting our rich mines that we have. Once even Karzai publicly said to the media that alone our mines is enough to feed Afghan people. But unfortunately he is talking, but in the meantime supporting those who are looting and those who are corrupt. Let me to find this report, it will help you, that he received bribe, this man, that dated in the New York Times, this exposed. Yeah, later if you want I can send this link. Anyway, even New York Times exposed that. He's receiving from Chinese company bribe, $30 million like this, and then, like exchange, giving that, when receiving the bribe to the private company, from private company of Chinese, he's receiving this bribe and do this dirty deals. With Mas Ainak, we call copper mine. You call copper mine. We say in Persian, Mas Ainak in Logar province. Do this dirty deals with Chinese private company. Anyway, system is so corrupt. Oh yeah, regarding waters you are asking. Again, sorry, I apologize for my weak English. You know that in Herat province, in Farah province, in Herat, very close, like 3 hours by car. But we have a river, Farah Road, we call it Farah Road River, and it's one of the big river there. The money of this, especially from Nimroz, and Nimroz, Herat, Farah, in the west of Afghanistan, the river that we have, the water go to the Iran. While in Farah province, huge lands we have. Our people believe, sometimes intellectuals among each other, ordinary people, they say, if this government gives water to these lands, possible to give wheat to all over Afghanistan every year. That much land we have, deserts. So the water, rather than come to our lands, go to Iran because of this lucky of Iran. This is Ismail Khan, Minister of the Electricity and Water. And it's only one example I told you regarding the water, that yes, and also water in Kabul, even in some part of Kabul, you can find clean water. In some supporter house I'm there, you can drink the water. But in most of provinces, the water is not healthy. It damages a lot, and they have to boil the water and have also lack of the water is another problem. All because of this non-democratic system. All these problem causes because of this corrupt system. If you want their official report, sorry, I'm not professional in this cause. I mean that sometimes by TV they announce, they say in our history when we read and we know about our rivers, about the history of our country. But now everything is in the hand of this corrupt puppet mafia regime. And that's the problem that do not benefit Afghan people in these issues. The weather is so pollution. One political show we have in a TV, that much weather is whether it's pollution, that one day they dedicate their show to this issue and damage a lot, create a lot of sickness, especially for the woman, this pollution. And also it's all because, especially in Kabul, 5 times population is more than to be in Kabul. Because I know some supporter, they leave their good job, their good life in their province, their own house. For security reasons, they are coming in Kabul, at least a little bit security. 3 family in 1 house, 1 building, they are living in very bad condition with very less salary, just to be alive. Even in Kabul, nobody guaranteed a life. You know that a family, a teacher, a brave lawyer, also her husband is a teacher in the university, has 4 children. They are going for shopping to city center. City center is a very big center and very expensive. Only rich families, some those who have good job, especially warlord family, those who are in power, they can go for shopping. But their suicide bomb, all family in 1 day died, 2 months before, in Kabul. Even in Kabul, nobody guaranteed a life. When they go out, my supporter, we are not sure they will be back safe or not.
Okay, I think that's all the time we have, so thank you very much.
Thank you.